Picture of the tiger groper. The tiger groper is similar to other gropers in body form and external appearance, but has a characteristic indentation towards the back of the head. It may attain 80 centimeters in length. It is found in the Indian Ocean, Central Pacific, and in the waters surrounding the Ryukyu Islands. A warm water fish, the tiger groper is found in the Indian Ocean, Central Pacific, and in the waters surrounding the Ryukyu Islands. Adult fish usually live in crevices and coral reefs, or in the vicinity of sunken ships, or in lagoons, or near fringing reefs. Spending its time in shallow water, 10 to 150 meters in depth, the fish forages at night, eating mostly crustaceans, lobsters, crabs, and reef fish. It swallows its prey whole. The tiger groper is a reef fish that can tolerate a wide range of salinity. It can survive the salinity range of 11 to 41 ppt and a temperature range of 22 to 28 degrees Celsius, but dies when salinity is less than 5 ppt. The fish will stop eating and moving when the water temperature drops below 15 degrees Celsius. The tiger groper grows more slowly than other gropers. 2-inch fry take 14 months to attain a weight of 1 kilogram. While strongly disease-resistant and offering very tasty and attractive flesh, this fish is extremely aggressive and territorial and must therefore be raised with fish of the same size to avoid cannibalism. Raising of breeder fish. Because the tiger groper is a serial hermaphroditic species with female characteristics first and male second, male breeder fish are relatively scarce. It is currently possible to artificially hasten maturity and natural spawning with hormone treatment, and the hatching rate of fertilized eggs is approximately 80 to 90%. White fry and 2-inch fry are raised using conventional methods for raising groper fry. Breeder fish ponds are usually 2 sections in size and should be at least 1.5 meters in depth. The fish are kept in pure salt water with 24-hour flow. There are usually 2 to 3 agitator water wheels, and the fish are normally fed once every 1 to 2 days. Feed typically consists of fresh squid and sardines. When the fish are fed squid, the bodies of the squid may be stuffed with soft feed items, including powdered eel feed, multiple vitamins, fish oil, fish meal, vitamin C, vitamin E, shrimp shells, and various trace elements. The fish can be fed as long as they are eating well, and breeder fish can be fed until they are full and stop eating. Feeding is usually performed at around 4 p.m. in summer and around 9 a.m. in winter. Because the fish are extremely aggressive eaters, to prevent them from colliding with each other and possibly causing injury, it is best that feed be widely dispersed as much as possible. Artificial maturation of breeder fish. The spawning period of tiger groper in Taiwan is from the 7th to the 9th month of the lunar calendar. Peak spawning times are around the beginning of each lunar month. The method for distinguishing male and female fish during non-reproductive periods is the same as that used for other gropers. The female fish is similar to female Malabar gropers and sandal gropers. The reproductive organs are relatively large, protruding smooth and rounded on the outside, and have 3 orifices: the anus at the top, the gonopore in the middle, and the reproductive nipple at the bottom. The gonopore is large, red in color, and slightly flared towards the outside. The abdomen is swollen and soft during the reproductive period, and many fine lines radiate outward from near the opening. It is easy to squeeze sperm from the bodies of the male fish during the reproductive period, and sperm is even discharged naturally during the process of moving the fish. Relatively mature specimens are selected during the spawning season and giving hormone injections to hasten maturation. The injection dose will depend upon the size of the fish, and the hormones are mixed with physiological saline solution. Injections are given subcutaneously in the muscles of the back, and the dose given to male fish is only 1/3 of that given to females. Natural spawning and handling of fertilized eggs. Breeder fish will spawn naturally 48 hours after hormone treatment. The males pursue the females, and the females discharge their eggs as the front halves of their bodies emerge from the water. Fertilization is external, and the fish can normally spawn for 4 to 7 consecutive days at around 8 to 10 p.m. each day when artificially matured. The greatest number of eggs is produced on the 2nd and 3rd days, with a gradual decline thereafter. Fish spawn for only 3 to 7 consecutive days under natural conditions. Fertilized eggs are globular, transparent, discrete, and float on the surface. They hatch in approximately 20 hours when the water temperature is 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. Hatching time is strongly influenced by water temperature and shortens as the temperature rises. Hatching rate falls to 0 when the salinity is less than 15 ppt and is optimal, approximately 90%, when salinity is roughly 30 ppt, under which salinity survival rate after 3 days is about 84%. Survival rate after 1 day is 65% when salinity is 35 ppt and drops to nil when salinity is below 25 ppt. Tara fry. Newly hatched fry are elongated in shape. Since the fry are initially unable to swim, they drift, floating and sinking in the water. Fry hatch within 24 hours when water temperature is 28 to 29 degrees Celsius. They will have absorbed all of their yolk sacs by 72 hours and thereupon begin feeding. Most tiger grouper fry conjugate in the middle or upper part of the pond and look for food around the edge of the pond. The fry consume different kinds of organisms as they develop, and this process can be divided into the following 3 stages. Stage 1. The fry are colloquially known as fish blues. After they have been eating for only 2 to 3 days, they must be fed fertilized oyster ova, small rotifers, and a suitable amount of multivitamin shrimp tablets. Small amounts of algae water should be added. Apart from purifying the water, absorbing ammonia and nitrogen, and replenishing fertilized oyster ova and small rotifer feed, 10 ppm of photosynthetic bacteria can be added to stabilize water quality and decompose organic detritus and dead fry on the bottom of the pond. Stage 2. The fry are called out of the hopper after another 3 days. This refers to the fry being transferred from a cloth hopper into the raising pond. This step should be performed at 3 to 4 a.m. to give the fry a chance to get used to the water color and water quantity in the pond while it is still dark. The fry will disperse and go to the corners of the raising pond after they leave the hopper, and aeration stones to infuse oxygen should be placed around the edges of the pond. The fry are mainly fed rotifers at this stage. The fry's dorsal and pectoral fins begin growing longer and sprouting long spines after roughly 5 to 7 days. The dorsal and pectoral fins will grow longer as time goes on in a process known as growing wings. This fin elongation is the most distinctive characteristic of grouper fry and makes them look like flying fish. Controlling water quality is extremely important during this stage, and special care should be paid to maintaining stable quality. The water should preferably be light green in color, and no circular or agitator wheels are needed. If water is insufficiently transparent, a small amount of seawater and green algae water may be added from a water storage tank. Small copepods, larval brine shrimp, and artificial feed may be given to the fry towards the end of this stage. The ventral fin spines will start shortening after roughly 15 days, and the dorsal fin spines will follow suit around the 20th day. Stage 3. The fry will have grown to about 1 to 1.5 centimeters in length after 20 days in the tucked wing, or redhead stage. The spines in the dorsal and pectoral fins will gradually shorten and disappear, signifying that the fry are ready to adapt the bottom-dwelling lifestyle characteristic of immature fish. The main feed organisms during this stage are copepods and larval brine shrimp. The fry will pass 2 centimeters in length after the 25th day. They may be collected and sold after they become banded inch-long fry. To avoid cannibalism, special attention should be paid to raising fry in separate size cohorts during this stage. Because the tiger grouper is the most cannibalistic of all groupers, fry should be sorted and separated once every 2 to 3 days to avoid the large fish eating the little fish, causing useless losses. Because the fry will grow slower when the water temperature is low, they can be sorted once every 4 to 5 days in cooler water. A galvanized iron sorting screen can be used to divide the fry into large, medium, and small groups. A larger fry can be put into a maturing pond for raising or sale. The medium and smaller fry can be allowed to grow further. Strict precautions should be taken to prevent contamination by viruses and parasites such as Trichoderma and Bordetella while the fry are growing. Close attention must therefore be paid to sterilizing and cleaning the growing environment. To find the best solution to the problem, live fry should be sent for inspection and testing as soon as any abnormalities are discovered. Fish farming methods. Tiger grouper can be raised in Taiwan like any other grouper. The fry may be put into a maturing pond after they have reached a length of 5 to 10 centimeters, 2 to 3 inches. To avoid death from cramping due to excessive water temperature fluctuations, the fry should be released in a new pond in the morning or evening when the weather is clear. While most fish farmers formerly raise tiger grouper to maturity in cement or stone ponds, cage aquaculture is also employed nowadays. Water in the pond should be 2 to 3 meters in depth, and the deeper the water, the more water temperature fluctuations can be avoided, boosting the growth rate. To avoid losses due to cannibalism or monopolization of the food supply by the larger and stronger fish, the fish must be regularly sorted by size and raised in separate ponds. Records kept by fish farmers indicate that 2-inch tiger grouper fry will grow to a weight of 1 kilogram in 12 months, but 22 months are required before all fish may be harvested. Another aspect requiring special attention is water quality management. Besides installing agitator wheels, fish farms must also keep a generator on hand in case of a power outage. Management steps taken before and after fry are put in the maturing pond include the following. Pond preparation and sun drying. The wall should be repaired and bottom material improved. The sun and wind can be used to fully oxidize organic mud at the bottom of the pond. Sterilization. Usually water is added to cover the bottom of the pond and 30 kilograms of line applied for each section of area. Otherwise, 3 to 5 ppm of bleach solution may be added. After allowing the sterilization solution to soak for 2 to 3 days, the pond is drained and sun-dried for 2 to 5 days. Fresh water is then filled to a depth of between 10 and 20 centimeters, and between 6 and 12 kilograms of tea dregs per section are added to destroy any unwanted fish or shrimp. The pond is gradually filled with water within 5 to 7 days. Adding and maintaining water. Water should be added within a short period of time. Green algae water may be added if water is too transparent, and fertilizer applied if too opaque. Feeding and accustomizing to feed. Fish should be fed at fixed points in their tank, which lets the schools of fish a chance to congregate at hiding places and get accustomed to the feed. The fish are currently mostly fed artificial feed blended from sardines and squid or trash fish. Fry are ordinarily fed 2 to 3 times each day, while adult fish are fed 1 to 2 times each day. Because the lower water temperature in winter causes gropers to decrease their food intake, feeding frequently may be cut to once every 2 days. The fish can be fed as long as they are eating well, and they can be fed until they are full and stop eating. Feeding is usually performed from 9 a.m. until sunset. Daily management. Raisers must test water quality and make sure soluble oxygen, salinity, water temperature, and pH are normal. Seawater should be replaced regularly if large amounts of uneaten feed or fish excrement tend to accumulate at the bottom of the pond. To control the amount of water, water should be replaced by adding and draining simultaneously. Unless necessary to meet special needs, changing too much water at any one time should be avoided. Because male tiger grouper are scarce, it's nearly impossible to achieve a fertilization rate above 80%. Because of this problem, increasing the proportion of males is seen as the key to the continued development of the species. Research organizations in Taiwan have used implants to change the sex of fish. In this work, pellets containing male hormones were implanted in the bodies of fish, artificially inducing sex change and transforming female fish into males at an earlier stage, and thereby improving the fertilization rate. It has been found that this technique can achieve a 70 to 80% sex change rate when used on the tiger grouper. Preliminary research has been completed on the artificial maturation and natural spawning of this species, and fry have been successfully bred by this method. Although the tiger grouper grows slower than other grouper species, 2-inch tiger grouper fry need 2 more months than Malabar grouper to grow to a weight of 1 kilogram. Tiger grouper fetch a much higher price than other groupers. Other advantageous features of this species include tasty and attractive flesh, strong disease resistance, and ease of transport. We therefore believe that the tiger grouper possesses considerable future potential. Responding to pending WTO membership and the need to develop overseas markets and the fragile state of water and soil resources, the government is strongly promoting the development of pure seawater aquaculture. Since grouper are a valuable marine fish and the tiger grouper has even more economic value than other groupers, the tiger grouper is seen as one of the most promising fish species. While Taiwan's artificial breeding and production technology for grouper is generally up to world standards, there is still much room for improvement in fry raising, disease prevention, distribution and sales, and other technical aspects. Research in all these areas will be needed if we are to truly improve the effectiveness of fish farming and ensure the industry's future prosperity.